Matthew, chapter 27. And morning having come, all the chief priests and the elders of the people took counsel against Jesus, so as to put him to death. And having bound him, they led him away, and delivered him up to Pontius Pilate the governor. Then Judas, he who delivered him up, having seen that he was condemned, having regretted, brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and to the elders, saying, I sinned, having delivered up innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? You will see. And having cast down the pieces of silver in the temple, he departed, and having gone away, he strangled himself. And the chief priests, having taken the pieces of silver, said, It is not lawful to put them into the treasury, seeing it is the price of blood. And having taken counsel, they bought the potter's field with them, for the burial of strangers. Therefore that field was called Field of Blood to this day. Then was fulfilled that spoken through Jeremiah the prophet, saying, And I took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him who has been priced, whom they of the sons of Israel priced, and gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord appointed me. And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor questioned him, saying, Are you the king of the Jews? And Jesus said to him, You say it. And in his being accused by the chief priests and the elders, he did not answer anything. Then Pilate says to him, Do you not hear how many things they witness against you? And he did not answer him, not even to one word, so that the governor wondered greatly. And at the celebration the governor had been accustomed to release one to the multitude, a prisoner whom they willed. And they had a noted prisoner then, called Barabbas. Therefore they, having been gathered together, Pilate said to them, Whom do you will that I may release to you, Barabbas, or Jesus, who is called Christ? For he had known that they had delivered him up because of envy. And as he is sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent to him, saying, Nothing to you and to that righteous one, for I suffered many things today in a dream because of him. And the chief priests and the elders persuaded the multitudes that they might ask for themselves Barabbas, and might destroy Jesus. And the governor answering said to them, Which of the two will you that I may release to you? And they said, Barabbas. And Pilate says to them, What then will I do with Jesus, who is called Christ? And they all say to him, Let him be crucified. And the governor said, Why? What evil did he do? And they were crying out the more, saying, Let him be crucified. And Pilate, having seen that it profits nothing, but rather a tumult is made, having taken water, he washed the hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent from the blood of this righteous one. You will see to it yourselves. And all the people answering said, His blood is on us and on our children. Then he released Barabbas to them, and having scourged Jesus, he delivered him up, that he may be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor, having taken Jesus to the Praetorium, gathered to him all the band. And having unclothed him, they put a crimson cloak around him. And having plaited him in a garland out of thorns, they put it on his head, and put a reed in his right hand. And having kneeled before him, they were mocking him, saying, Hail the King of the Jews! And having spit on him, they took the reed, and were striking on his head. And when they had mocked him, they took off the cloak from him, and put his own garments on him, and led him away to crucify him. And coming forth, they found a man, a Cyrenian, by the name Simon. They impressed him that he might carry his cross. And having come to a place called Golgotha, which is called Place of the Skull, they gave him vinegar mixed with gall to drink. And having tasted, he would not drink. And having crucified him, they divided his garments, casting a lot, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, They divided my garments to themselves, and they cast a lot over my clothing. And sitting down, they were watching him there. And they put up over his head his accusation written, This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. Then 2 robbers are crucified with him, one on the right hand and one on the left. And those passing by kept slandering him, wagging their heads and saying, "You that are throwing down the temple, and in 3 days building it, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." And in like manner also the chief priests, mocking with the scribes and elders, said, "He saved others, he is not able to save himself. If he is the King of Israel, let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe him. He has trusted on God. Let him now deliver him if he wants him, because he said, 'I am the Son of God.'" With the same also the robbers who were crucified with him were reproaching him. And from the 6th hour darkness came over all the land to the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried out with a great voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani?" That is, my God, why did you forsake me?" And certain of those standing there, having heard, said, "He calls Elijah." And immediately one of them, having run, and having taken a sponge, having filled it with vinegar, and having put it on a reed, was giving him to drink. But the rest said, "Let alone, let us see if Elijah comes, about to save him." And Jesus, having again cried with a great voice, yielded the spirit. And behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth quaked, and the rocks were split, and the tombs were opened, and many bodies of the holy ones who have fallen asleep arose, and having come forth out of the tombs after his rising, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. And the centurion and those with him watching Jesus, having seen the earthquake and the things that were done, were exceedingly afraid, saying, "Truly, this was God's Son." And there were many women beholding from afar, who followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him, among whom was Mary the Magdalene, and Mary the son of James and of Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. And evening having come, there came a rich man from Arimathea, named Joseph, who also himself was disciple to Jesus. He, having gone near to Pilate, asked for himself the body of Jesus. Then Pilate commanded the body to be given back. And having taken the body, Joseph wrapped it in a clean linen, and laid it in his new tomb that he hewed in the rock. And having rolled a great stone to the door of the tomb, he went away. Now Mary the Magdalene was there, and the other Mary, sitting opposite the grave. And on the next day, that is after the preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees were gathered together to Pilate, saying, "Lord, we have remembered that this deceiver said while yet living, 'After 3 days I rise.' Command then the grave to be made secure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples, having come by night, may steal him away, and may say to the people he rose from the dead, and the last deceit will be worse than the first." And Pilate said to them, "You have a guard, go away, make it secure as you have known." And they, having gone, made the grave secure, having sealed the stone, together with the guard.